There are subtle qualities in how older men communicate that often capture attention without the need for grand gestures or flashy displays. One of the most significant elements is confidence. Confidence is not arrogance or dominance. It is the quiet assurance that comes from knowing oneself and having lived through experiences that build self-belief. When older men speak with certainty, their words carry weight and authenticity. Women notice this confidence because it signals stability, emotional resilience, and reliability. It is not just in what is said, but how it is said, the tone, the pace, and the comfort in silence. Confidence allows for ease in conversation, making interactions feel natural and unforced. It is an invisible signal that communicates maturity and competence, qualities that are deeply attractive. The impact of confidence grows when it is combined with patience, listening, and attentiveness, allowing the conversation to flow without pressure or expectation. In this way, confidence creates a magnetic presence that draws people toward it effortlessly, inviting connection rather than demanding it. Experience and wisdom form another layer of appeal that older men bring into conversations. Years of navigating challenges, observing human behavior, and learning from both successes and mistakes cultivate a perspective that is often expressed subtly in word choice. When a man shares an insight or reflects thoughtfully on a situation, it demonstrates a depth of understanding that is compelling. Women respond positively to this kind of wisdom because it signals emotional intelligence and practical knowledge. It is not about lecturing or correcting, but offering perspectives that show awareness and consideration. This wisdom often manifests in storytelling, where anecdotes from life illustrate lessons or highlight human truths. Stories told with sincerity, humor, or reflection create connection, making the interaction memorable. The value lies not just in the content of the words, but in the authenticity and relatability with which they are shared. Such storytelling communicates character, patience, and the ability to navigate life with balance. Equally important are the two words that older men use strategically in conversation: I understand and I appreciate. These words are simple, yet they carry profound weight because they signal attentiveness and empathy. Saying, I understand, communicates recognition of another person's perspective, validating their feelings or experiences without judgment or interruption. It demonstrates emotional presence and the capacity to listen deeply, which is far more appealing than simply responding for the sake of speaking. Similarly, I appreciate conveys gratitude and acknowledgement, highlighting awareness of the other person's contributions, qualities, or efforts. These words create a sense of connection and respect, forming a bridge between individuals that builds trust and comfort. The power of these words is amplified by their delivery, spoken calmly, sincerely, and without rush. In their simplicity lies a timeless charm because they communicate what many overlook: attentiveness, kindness, and the willingness to engage with someone fully. When combined, confidence, wisdom, storytelling, and the subtle use of I understand and I appreciate create a presence that is magnetic without being forced. It is a demonstration of emotional maturity, social intelligence, and genuine curiosity about others. Women notice these qualities because they signal a foundation of reliability, empathy, and stability, qualities that matter far beyond surface-level charm. The effect is not instantaneous, but cumulative, growing with each interaction and leaving a lasting impression. Older men who embody these traits offer more than conversation. They offer connection, reassurance, and authenticity. In essence, the two words are not a trick or a formula. They are a reflection of values that resonate deeply with human nature. Understanding, appreciation, and the quiet confidence that carries them are timeless tools that communicate respect, presence, and genuine attraction. Attraction is rarely about appearance alone. It is about presence, energy, and the subtle ways people communicate respect and understanding. Older men often possess a unique blend of qualities that draw attention naturally, and much of this comes from their ability to listen and respond thoughtfully. Listening is more than hearing words. It is actively engaging with what the other person expresses, noticing their tone, emotions, and the nuance behind their statements. When a man demonstrates genuine interest in another person's thoughts or experiences, it creates a feeling of being valued and understood. Women respond to this attentiveness because it signals empathy, maturity, and emotional intelligence. It communicates that the interaction is not just transactional or superficial, but a meaningful exchange where their voice matters. Older men who master this quality can establish a strong, positive presence in any social setting simply by choosing to engage deeply and authentically in conversation, showing that attention and understanding are more compelling than any external display of charm. The ability to communicate thoughtfully is further enhanced by the careful choice of words. Certain words carry weight beyond their literal meaning, signaling appreciation, acknowledgement, or validation. Two words in particular, I understand and I appreciate, hold significant power when used sincerely. Saying I understand goes beyond agreement. It demonstrates an awareness of someone else's perspective and conveys empathy. It acknowledges that the speaker has listened and processed the experience or feelings being shared. Similarly, I appreciate expresses recognition and gratitude for the other person's efforts, character, or presence. These words build trust, create connection, and make the other person feel respected and valued. They communicate thoughtfulness and social intelligence without appearing calculated or manipulative. When delivered with calm assurance and sincerity, they resonate deeply, leaving an impression that is both memorable and meaningful. The subtlety of these words is what makes them so effective, as they communicate a level of care that goes beyond superficial charm. Beyond the words themselves, older men often combine this verbal awareness with calm composure and quiet confidence. A measured, patient approach to interaction conveys stability and reliability. Women notice when someone is comfortable in their own presence, speaking deliberately rather than rushing or overcompensating. This kind of confidence does not demand attention. It invites it naturally. Combined with life experience and emotional maturity, it gives the impression of someone who can navigate challenges thoughtfully and respond with insight rather than impulsivity. Storytelling becomes a natural complement to this presence, as older men share anecdotes that reveal lessons learned, perspective gained, or observations about life. Stories create engagement, warmth, and relatability, demonstrating not just knowledge, but the ability to connect authentically through experience. Ultimately, attraction through these qualities is subtle, yet profound. It does not rely on external display or fleeting gestures, but on a combination of presence, attentiveness, communication, and authenticity. The two words, I understand and I appreciate, act as anchors in conversation, reinforcing emotional connection and demonstrating empathy. Women notice these nuances because they signal respect, maturity, and a willingness to engage deeply. Over time, these qualities build trust, comfort, and genuine interest, making older men who embody them appealing in a way that is natural, enduring, and memorable. The true charm lies not in manipulation, but in embodying values that foster connection, understanding, and meaningful interaction, leaving a lasting impression long after the conversation ends. Connection begins with presence, and presence is far more than physical. It is the energy someone brings into an interaction. Older men often have a natural ease that comes from years of experience, allowing them to communicate without forcing attention. This ease translates into confidence that feels calm rather than brash, noticeable without being overwhelming. Women are drawn to this because it signals emotional stability and maturity, qualities that suggest reliability and trustworthiness. Presence also shows in how someone listens, responds, and engages in conversation. Instead of dominating discussion, an older man often balances speaking with attentive observation, creating space for the other person to express themselves fully. This balance fosters comfort, understanding, and a sense that the interaction is meaningful, Presence paired with subtle communication cues like tone and body language enhances the impact of every word spoken, showing respect and authenticity without needing to impress artificially or exaggerate abilities. Experience and insight shape the way older men interact, often reflected in the content and delivery of their words. Life experiences create stories, perspectives, and lessons that can be shared naturally, offering guidance or reflection without preaching. When older men incorporate thoughtful storytelling into conversation, it captures attention because it reveals character, intellect, and empathy simultaneously. Stories, anecdotes, or reflections convey more than information. They convey values, emotional depth, and the ability to navigate challenges thoughtfully. Women notice these qualities because they signal someone who can offer perspective, balance, and patience in both conversation and life. Insight combined with narrative skill makes communication engaging, showing that attraction can be rooted in understanding, connection, and authenticity rather than superficial charm or fleeting gestures. The ability to connect through thoughtful words and meaningful stories elevates interactions, leaving lasting impressions that feel genuine and memorable. Two words in particular serve as anchors in conversation: I understand and I appreciate. They are simple, but their effect is profound because they communicate empathy and recognition. Saying I understand signals that the speaker has listened and considered another person's perspective, acknowledging their thoughts or feelings without judgment. It creates a sense of validation and emotional safety, allowing for trust and connection to grow naturally. Similarly, I appreciate expresses gratitude and recognition for the other person's actions, qualities, or presence. These words highlight attentiveness, respect, and sincerity, making the interaction feel meaningful rather than casual. When paired with calm confidence and emotional awareness, they create a presence that is magnetic in a quiet, authentic way. Women notice these words because they communicate not just words, but values, care, respect, and consideration. Ultimately, attraction in these contexts is subtle yet impactful. It is built on attentiveness, calm confidence, life experience, and the thoughtful use of words that convey empathy and appreciation. Older men who embody these qualities naturally draw attention and respect without relying on exaggeration or overt charm. I understand and I appreciate are not tricks. They are reflections of genuine engagement and emotional intelligence. By integrating these words into conversation, older men demonstrate qualities that resonate on a human level: presence, connection, and authenticity. This approach creates enduring appeal because it signals reliability, understanding, and respect, leaving a lasting impression far beyond any initial interaction, showing that true attraction is rooted in depth, sincerity, and thoughtful communication.